July 13th was the day that everything changed. We all knew that political violence was going to end up ramping up, even with all of these flaccid calls to go ahead and tone down the temperature in the room. Well, go ahead and, clean up your own house before you try to make grandiose proclamations for the other side, you doddering old kook. But now we have this story, which I'm kind of pressing X to doubt on, if we're going to be completely honest. The U.S. received intel of an Iranian plot to assassinate Donald Trump. The intel was allegedly obtained weeks before Thomas Matthew Crooks' attempted assassination of Trump. However, no connection between the two incidents have been made. Yeah, I don't really imagine, okay, you heard an Allahu Akbar being chanted out from the top of that roof. Didn't really think that that fit the MO of Crooks, who we'll be getting into very, very shortly. I'm just saying, man, hearing this stuff about Iran and then also seeing J.D. Vance, in an interview Monday night with Fox News talking about certain countries in the Middle East needing to be dealt with that somehow rhyme with Iran, and then also knowing other prominent Republicans constantly wanting to get into an open conflict with said nation, just color me a little shocked. I would just like to know about this intel that they received. I would also like to know if there were other countries named on certain intel. If it read, death to America, death to Trump, death to our greatest ally. I'm just wondering if there's any connection that's there. Because who's been saber-rattling awfully strongly in that corner of the world? Oh, yeah, interesting. Does that all seem to line up? Well, see, at least that kind of makes sense, okay, to try to piece that stuff together. So I find about as much legitimacy behind this CNN report of all things as I do about them toting the idea that the Russians are going to interfere in the 2024 election, okay? I'm somebody that wants a little bit more facts, a little bit more substance behind my theories before we start to go with anything. Because I want to get the 411 on Thomas Matthew Crooks. I want to know what the hell was going on behind this kid. He was 20 years old, and he will forever be 20 years old. How does somebody get radicalized like this? Because there's going to be a lot of misinformation around this, given enough breathing room. So let's get the facts here first and foremost. So we're going to have a reference points moving forward, because there was all that talk of him being a registered Republican, and now there's talking points just circulating on Reddit. Oh, he had Trump lawn signs in his front yard. He lived at home, you idiots. His father was a registered libertarian, and his mom a registered Democrat, and they were both mental health counselors. Gee, I wonder how somebody just managed to slip through the cracks like this. Big shock on that one. It's almost like the modern mental health apparatus doesn't do all that much for men's perceived mental health after all. Inside what Trump's would-be assassin, Thomas Matthew Crooks, did in the 24 hours before the rally shooting. All right, so we have all of this stuff, but we still don't have a motive, huh? Interesting. As investigators continue to puzzle over the motive, right? The shooter's movements in the 24 hours leading up to the attack have come into focus, according to the trip, including a trip to the shooting range on Friday. Thomas Matthew Crooks visited the Clairton Sportsman Club and practiced firing shots, a law enforcement official told CNN. The club is almost a 25-minute drive from the Bethel Park home where Crooks lived with his parents, the outlet noted. Crooks' father, Matthew Crooks, was also a member of the club, and the pair enjoyed going shooting there together, law enforcement said. The club's rifle range is about 200 yards long. Tomato when it actually comes down to it. CNN reported longer than the distance between Crooks and Trump when the former fired from the rooftop the following day. The club fully admonishes a senseless act of violence that occurred. A lawyer for the organization, Rob Booty, sucks to suck, told the outlet, Booty declined to make any additional commentary in relation in the light of the matter of the pending law enforcement investigations. Yeah, man, a lot of people go through the gun shop, okay? That's as stupid as also holding, Demolition Ranch responsible because that goof was wearing one of their shirts. What the hell are you people doing, man? That shit's sick. So on Saturday morning, Crooks bought 50 rounds of ammunition at Allegheny, right? Arms and Guns Work in Bethel Park. The store bills itself as a one-stop shop for your firearm, ammo, and accessory needs. What are they running a promo in this article? As a responsible member of our community, it is our prerogative to cooperate with law enforcement in every way, a gunsmith at the store, Josh Rowe, said in a statement to the Post. Okay, yeah, makes sense. After a stop at the gun shop, Crooks went to Home Depot where he purchased a 5-foot ladder. A receipt for the ladder was later found in his pocket. We condemn the violence against former President Donald Trump. Yeah, it's a Home Depot, for Christ's sakes. You actually also took out the trash for somebody else who was openly praising this Elizabeth Warren stunt double, but derided his accuracy. Okay, just go ahead and make that one clear. As of Tuesday, it was not immediately clear if Crooks used the newly purchased ammunition or the ladder for his attack at the Trump rally. Well, he bought 50 rounds and he only fired 5 of them, so I'll just go ahead and let the law enforcement officers go ahead and play a fun game of count to 50, and if you only get to 45, you got your answer. Though he did use the ladder to scale the roof of the factory to stake out the crowd. Yes, exactly. On 3 different occasions. 3 different times he went up and down the ladder, and it was spotted by multiple people that were out there. But don't worry, guys, the Secret Service is a airtight institution. Crooks drove his Hyundai Sonata 1 hour north to the rally at the Butler Farm Show grounds, where thousands of Trump supporters gathered to see the former president. Yes, and then I think the rest of it is history. 6/11, Crooks fired several shots about 130 yards away from Trump, grazing the former president. Yes, killing 1 rally goer and injuring 2 others before he was shot and killed by Secret Service. Yep, after they knew he was there, after they could see exactly what he was up to, then they decided to take action on this. I mean, come on, man. What else did they find? Well, they were also, okay, in that first initial, I think it was the FBI and the local police department were given a press conference. This was Saturday evening after everything all went down, where they said that, yep, they're staking out the area. Okay, they're trying to find motive. They're trying to find everything that they can of this. They've dispatched K9 units, okay, every available officer that they can, and then also an explosive unit. And it's like, an explosives unit? Well, investigators believe Thomas Crooks may have planned on blowing up his car as a distraction to assassinate Trump. Yeah, because there was apparently a box with wires, and then he also had, well, a receiver on his person. Yeah, a metal box with explosives connected to wires, or by wires to a receiver, were found in his car, which could be detonated by a remote control on his body. What's even more bizarre is that the investigators have reportedly found nothing through his search history of him learning how to make homemade explosives. Well, perhaps he had nothing better to do at the time, right, than just do all of that homemade investigation. Maybe he went down to the old local library to figure it all out. In the final 48 hours leading up to the incident, Crooks went to the range, went to a Home Depot to purchase a 5-foot ladder, and then went to a gun store and bought ammo. Investigators have successfully broken into his phone, but claim they have not found a motive. Nothing makes any sense. No, this one really is a mystery, man, but they can go ahead and find everything else about this kid except for motive, which kind of lets me know that they exactly know what the motive is on this one. They just don't want to come out and be honest that, yeah, he was radicalized by leftist talking points. Let's just call this exactly what it is, man. We've been inundated with this stuff for nigh on a decade, that the orange man is literally Cheeto Hitler, okay? You have people, even right now, claiming that it's staged, claiming that it's fake, claiming that, yeah, Corey Comperatore is a goof for laying down his life to protect his family. These people are sick, and now they just have justification in their minds to just go ahead and openly hate you. So feel free to return fire. Would-be Trump assassin Thomas Crooks' family includes hardworking big sister who's real friendly as feds still search for motive. So what's the narrative of this going to be, okay? So you had a middle class working class family with just otherwise a heart of gold, but somebody who ended up getting radicalized. Like, is that what we're going to be going with eventually? Details are beginning to trickle out about the family of the would-be Trump assassin, Thomas Matthew Crooks. His federal investigation struggles to determine a clear motive for the attack. That shocked the nation. Crooks' family has so far been silent and kept out of the public eye. A neighbor of Katie Crooks, Thomas's sister, described her as a hardworking woman who juggled 2 jobs and moved into an apartment building in Bethel Park, Pennsylvania, with the help of her brother 3 years ago. Interesting. The person who helped her, I couldn't tell if it was male or female. Well, Thomas used to have long hair, so I guess, the androgyny would end up kicking in there. Not exactly the strongest jawline. The neighbor of the Post of his initial reaction to Thomas. Okay, a couple of days later, I asked if that was one of her siblings, and she said it was her brother, the one who shot Trump. He was real scrawny. Neighbor noted that Katie's father, Matthew Brian Crooks, appeared to be too heavy to help her move, instead opted to drive the truck while moving removing Thomas and it helped his sister settle in. Also, a fat counselor trying to tell people how to live their best life, okay, and get their mental health under control. This is why that entire industry is rotten. You can find some good people that are in there, but I mean, come on, and that also speaks to your average rank and file libertarian. That's why really tough to take any of those folks serious. Probably couldn't speak much about Thomas. The neighbor noted that Katie was a real go-getter who worked as a janitor at the local high school and as a server at a restaurant. She was real friendly. He said she's a nice girl. I couldn't say a bad word about her. Talking about her like she's the one who passed away at the hands of the Secret Service eventually. Like her brother, Katie is a registered Republican, with her father being registered libertarian. And again, we've had theories about this where, yeah, okay, as somebody who takes a shot at a very prominent Republican, how much do you think that he's convicted in his beliefs, or was he also taking advantage of a very well publicized scheme to go ahead and register as a Republican and vote against Trump in the primaries in a swing state like Pennsylvania? Just wondering, man. The oldest sister was presumably spotted exiting her red Hyundai Kona on a Monday night and bringing in luggage to the Crooks family home in Bethel Park, according to footage from local and national outlets. To be honest, man, harassing people or harassing the family, unless of course you find motive that they were just trying to use the son as a proxy, okay, it's not exactly appropriate to be following these guys. Okay, they didn't do anything outside of raising a psychopath, so just keep them at arm's length. Okay, don't go after them at all. It was also revealed that Thomas had graduated from community college in Allegheny County in May, majoring in engineering science, according to the school. Interesting. Like all Americans, we are shocked and saddened at the horrific turn of events that took place in Butler, Pennsylvania on Saturday. The college said in a statement, "Frankly, I don't care what the college has to say about the president getting shot. I just want to know what led up to this stuff, okay? I want to know what the spin from the media is eventually going to be after the RNC is done. That's what I think is far more pertinent." So, would-be Trump assassin Thomas Matthew Crooks relentlessly bullied by high school classmates in chilling new video. Oh no, he was bullied at school and decided to take out all of his frustration on the president. What? A la Ben Shapiro. A newly emerged video shows gunman who attempted to assassinate former President Donald Trump on Saturday being relentlessly teased by his peers when he was in high school. Okay, so he's 20. Somebody saved these videos from at least 2 years ago? What the hell is wrong with you kids? The undated footage shows Thomas Crooks sitting at his desk as a classmate repeatedly yanks at the leg of his pants as the prankster pulls at his pant legs. Crooks continually tells him to stop, eventually saying, "Stop, you're pulling my leg," while the person behind the camera laughs. It's like, yeah, okay, just looking at him right there, doesn't that seem like somebody that you just want to bully? Okay, I'm just joking. This is obviously joking. Crooks, who graduated from Bethel Park High School in 2022, was a loner who was relentlessly bullied, according to former classmates. One classmate of the attempted assassin previously told the Post Crooks didn't seem like really weird or anything. I would have pegged him as a Republican. He was more of a loner. He probably had a friend group but not many friends. That's kind of weird, but that's also the thought process of high school kids. It's like, yeah, he's weird, I guess he's a Republican or something like that. I don't really know. He was just quiet. I didn't know him, but I'd kind of like my 15 minutes of fame. So if you could, quote me in your article, that'd be great and fantastic. So yeah, man, outside of maybe having questionable BO, but I mean, like, come on, man, doesn't he? You can smell that picture right there, okay? Like, for all the people that are making fun of this entire situation, okay, I think making fun of the would-be assassin, yeah, that's probably open runway, right? But basically what we have right now is a lone wolf head case who's trying to take it to somebody they perceive to be a bully. That's about as much as we have right now, and that's about as much as we're likely to get. Unless, of course, they could try to spin this into being, I don't know, a former Trump supporter who ended up getting spurned, but then just try to chronologically make that one make sense. Other than that, you'll probably just have the motive end up getting buried, and it'll end up getting leaked, kind of like the Nashville Manifesto, over a year later when it's no longer expeditious for anybody to weaponize. So if we see anything else on Crooks, be sure to put it on blast. But until that point in time, I thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.